Introvert or extrovert? Which one are you? Hi, my name is Pete. I'm an illustrator and graphic designer based in the UK countryside. I've also been making music for as long as I can remember, so I'm curious when I see extroverted performers playing live and wonder, are they really an introvert? This led to a deep dive reading books like Susan Cain's Quiet. I wanted to challenge the assumptions of what a performer is really like. It was my final uni project worth a lot of marks, and I wanted to fully dive into illustration. One problem, I had never been taught how to illustrate. So I thought I would document my process in this 300-page process book. It required stacks of research on things like colour, mixed media, watercolour, line, print, type, and then diving into Susan Cain's book. While this was super inspiring, I knew I had to begin drawing again. I was too intimidated by what seemed like massive A4 sketchbooks, so I decided to make my own out of scrap 300 GSM card. Here's a few of them that document my process on really tiny pieces of paper. As my confidence grew and I mixed life drawing with further sketchbook research, I started to understand a little bit of illustration, from swatches, texture, human form, colour experiments, tone, composition, negative space, narrative. It all led to character development. But how would this work look? And what form should it take? It really helped me to start storyboarding using keynotes from my research. There were many iterations as I began to figure out what not to do and find my style. Once I'd created a few of these illustrations and many iterations of each one, I then began to understand how the story was going to work. I needed to map it out and let the illustrations tell the story more so than the words on the paper. By the time I finished my extrovert illustrations, I started to understand the style that I wanted to create. So when I approached the introvert, it suddenly became a lot easier. I also wondered, because I'm introverted, that this just made more sense to me. Forming the character was critical, something I didn't do particularly well with the extrovert. So I drew and drew until I found the right type of character for the introvert. I noticed that my ideas began to speed up and my iterations were less than they were with the extrovert, but each illustration still required a lot of thought and tweaking as I went. Once I was close to finishing all the illustrations on paper, I began to think about type and editing, figuring out how to best edit these in Photoshop. As I'm talking now, you can see some of these edits and how drastically some of the images changed in the post-production. I was delighted to be able to produce this process book and the final illustrations in print. I love how the colours pop off the page. I love how they tell a story. And there are some illustrations that I am particularly proud of, and I hope you will enjoy too.